On today's episode, we're talking about a fluid applied basement waterproofing system. On the build show today, we're talking about basement waterproofing. I'm coming to you from a builder friend's job site. We're here in the gorgeous hill country of Texas, and my builder friend's got a walkout foundation that he's using a really interesting system from our friends at PolyWall. And I've got PolyWall's tech director, Dave Leslie, with me. Dave, what is this blue stuff we're looking at here?
Well, what we're looking at is the HomeStretch Liquid. It's a synthetic rubber that we use for waterproofing on basements.
And Dave, is this a new product to the marketplace?
Actually, no. It's new to the residential, but in the commercial, we've had it for over 2 decades.
Okay, so new to us, but actually been around a long time. You know, when I was in the East Coast building full in-ground foundations 20 plus years ago now, our go-to at that time was a tar-based, black, nasty stuff we put on for waterproofing. How is this blue stuff from y'all different than that?
Well, it's funny because I come from the same thing. I actually come from the restoration side. And when we think about the tars and the different things, it's actually asphalt. And what that asphalt is when we take crude oil and we refine it down and we get gasoline and all the different things out of it, the crud at the bottom is the asphalt. And so what we would do is we'd take that asphalt, mix it into water and some other things, and make it an emulsion. This, on the other hand, is an SBR, which is a styrene butadiene rubber specifically designed for waterproofing.
Would it be fair to say this is kind of like a rubber coating on your bed liner for your truck? It's all continuous when you're all done?
Actually, that's an excellent example. By being fluid applied, it's continuous and it's monolithic. And so some of the areas like we see at the footer and the transition, or when we look over at the different areas where we have pipes, this fluid's able to perfectly conform to it and make it monolithic, instead of like with traditional sheet goods where you'd actually have to use origami to make it fit in those tough places.
Yeah, no doubt, Dave. Impressive. Hey, I'm going to transition to finding the builder over here, Brian Long, an amazing guy who's really doing the details right. And let's talk to him about how we actually installed this. All right, I'm here with Brian Long. Brian is an amazing builder, and I've been following his work for years, and I'm really privileged to be on your job site, Brian.
Well, thanks,
Tell me about what your crew did to install this. You guys really nailed the details here.
Well, whenever you start out with concrete, as you know, you're going to have flaws, deviations, air bubbles, maybe a little honeycombing here and there. So the first thing you have to do is get yourself a nice slick wall surface. So we came in, did all our concrete patch, got it all together. After that was all done, then we came in with the 2200 fill seal, because this is a 2-part wall. We have a footing at the bottom, and then we have the wall that sits on top. But by having that seam at the bottom, that means that's a place for water infiltration. So we caulk that with the 2200. Then we come in and apply the fluid applied on top of that, which is shot with a sprayer, normally to 60 mils, which dries to a 30 mil finish. Gives you a nice rubber, one piece, no seam finish. As you know, you've worked with, your sheet membranes before. Well, the weakness there is when you have a seam, you're relying on the primer to hold that seam together. Well, water is the world's greatest solvent. So that being said, if that seam fails, what's going to happen is that water is going to infiltrate there, and the primer is not a waterproof, so a sealant. So what's going to happen is you're going to get water. When you get water in, you get unhappy clients. They start calling you. That's not a good day. And this is a really expensive fix to come back, because you're talking about heavy equipment, a lot of digging, and then you've got your French drains that you're going to have to destroy. All that'll have to be redone. Yeah. So it's quite the problem. So with this being a one piece, we have a lot less chance of any water permeability.
It's impressive, Brian. So my understanding is that you could roll this on or spray it on. Why did you choose the spray?
When you're rolling it, it's much harder to get that 60 mil finish. And spraying it, it just seems where it goes a lot faster, and it just gives you a much better coat.
Yeah. All right, good deal. So you could do either. Now, that airless sprayer I saw on the job site, that didn't look like the one my painter's using to spray my houses with.
No, the hydraulic Graco 733 is what's recommended to spray this product. It does a really good job. It's easy to clean. The nice thing about this product is you can leave it in the machine for up to 2 weeks, which gives you the ability to come back without a lot of heavy cleanup. So there's some things you'll have to take care of, but on the most part, it gives you a real simple, regeneration for the next day.
Good deal, Brian. Amazing job on this. Now, there's a part 2 in this video we're going to come up to next, but give me a little primer about what we're going to be doing after this.
We're going to show their Arroyo drain, which is it stops static water pressure up against the waterproofing itself. It gives you a drain board to get the water down to your French drain system and then out of the project. We have a little piece of it laying over here, and we'll be showing that and the installation of that and how that drain product also ties into our French drain system.
Brian, amazing job. You and your crew, so detailed. You guys know your building science. Very impressive to be on your job site. Guys, thanks for joining us at the Build Show. Stay tuned for next week when we're going to come back and talk about part 2, protecting the membrane, getting that water down and out. Brian's got an incredible French drain system. We're going to show you the details on that. Otherwise, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We'll see you next time on the Build Show.